program, and he's an Emmy Award winner of his media and production work. And Scott, we're just so glad that you agreed to be a part of this with all of us. And of course, this is the first anniversary of January 6th. And my dear friend Santon de la Vie had a vision to create heart coherence and send out a wave of a frequency of love. And on this day, she felt that the collective mind was going to be stirring, and it turned out to be so true. So true. So Marianne Williamson, of course, has said that the healing power of love can heal all things, but we have to claim it. And, Rumi said, out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field, and I will meet you there. And that's what we're doing. We are creating the field of coherence, of love. And we are so glad that you're participating along with, and Scott, maybe you can spotlight them for a second. Amikaeyla Gaston is with us, and Gary Malcolm, or maybe go to gallery view. Will Chang and Sharika Gregory and her beautiful son are joining us, and Ari Moshe, Wolf, and Momo Cortez, and Will Chang. So we are just so delighted and so happy to be with all of you to create this field of heart coherence and lift up the vibration, get up past all the mental constructs of right and wrong, and let's go for the love. Let's go for the healing of America. Thank you so much. So I want to introduce Sharika Gregory. She is a motivational speaker. She has a master's in arts and theology and a degree in psychology. And she is performing drums with her son, Osiezhe Gboligi-John. Osiezhe, you want to stand up and say hi to everybody so we can meet you? They're in their Nigerian outfits, and because we're a country that's made up of people from all over the world. So thank you. They are going to start off with the preamble of the U.S. Constitution. So Sharika, I give it to you. Thank you, dear.
Amen. It is such a profuse honor to dwell in the midst of all of you. And I could not resist allowing my son to play the djembe, for we are a rhythm. And in this season, we are seeking to culminate a resounding, restorative, transformative rhythm that will manifest communal proliferation. And it brings me great honor to remind us in this moment the framework of our Constitution as we seek to go back into it and to adhere to it as we manifest a revolution. With that being said, in this moment, here is our preamble. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, and provide general welfare and secure the blessing of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish the Constitution of the United States of America.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the wonderful offering and the drum that calls us in the ancient tribal way. For we are a tribe of people, but we are the global peace tribe, and we want peace. So I'm going to start by opening with an intentional prayer. to help us to step into this mindset, this thinking of the divine mind. So let's take this wonderful journey from the head to our hearts. As we cultivate the heart, we spend time allowing our hearts to open and to acknowledge that all separation vanishes when we share. When we share the inspiration of our true nature, the manifestation of our true nature, which is the love that we are, the kindness, the gentleness. And when we share that, all separation vanishes. For in a moment of kindness, we are one. In a moment of love, we are one. And what a wonderful job that is ours to do. We are the ones that heard the call. We are the ones willing to do the work to raise up past the level of the mental constructs of right and wrong, good and bad, left and right, and enter into the realm of the divine, enter into the realm of higher consciousness. For this, we are eternally grateful. So I light the red candle, and the red candle here is for the love of America. That people came here because they wanted freedom. They wanted democracy. That means that the people decide, we the people. And then let this candle shine out. Then I light the blue candle. And the blue candle is for the oceans, the waters that spill out the emotions of peace. It's like an ocean that we are all part of. We are each individual waves, but we are all one ocean. And then I light the white candle that represents we the people from the love that we join together in. We the people, we gather to stand in divine energy of equality, of peace and love, and we share and extend that love now. Blessed be. Amen. So at this point, I would love to introduce Amikaeyla Gaston. Amikaeyla, you have touched my heart so deeply with your profound wisdom. If you've ever wondered what do I do about the refugees out there, you hear their stories, your heart is broken open. America has always welcomed the refugees. Amikaeyla is the bridge maker. She is the voice for healing. She is our ambassador, and she works for the State Department. And she actually goes out to the refugees. Now she's going virtually, but she was traveling the globe, working with the refugees and singing the song that lifts the spirit, that reminds us that we're all one in that song. We're all one in that love. And Amikaeyla, I have so deeply honored your work because, I'm going to let you tell your story, but you are a powerhouse for forgiveness. And if you want to learn more about her, you can go to the worldtrust.org website and you can find all about the work that she's doing. Thank you. Amikaeyla, God bless you, honey. I love you.
Thank you so much, Christy. Hello, family. How are you all doing? My name is Amikaeyla, and actually DC is my hometown, so I'm very honored and blessed to be with all of you here today, especially on this auspicious day of remembering all that has happened and all that still needs to be done. And so I would love to start our moment together off by first thanking all of you for being here. I bow to each of you in your undaunted spirit and steadfast determination to being the fiercest love warriors in all the places and spaces around the country and world during these extremely precarious times that we've been in. From the horrors of George Floyd and all the racial tensions that were uncovered in this country, to the craziness of COVID and the drama and stress of, just being. Yet amidst all the madness, you all are navigating these turbulent waters with grace and aplomb, and getting through these times by staying centered and focused and committed to doing this amazing, brave, personal changemaker work, all while living a full life experience. And so I have a question for everyone in the room, and it's a real question as someone that's died and come back. And I've been asking all the folk that I come into contact with lately as someone who really wants to know what drives you right now in this life that you're living. What makes you, you? How are you accessing your inner power, your authentic voice, and continuing to be beyond the ists and isms of our silly dominant culture? And, that defines you by your body wrapper, and beyond the comfort level and the constant drive to push and succeed and do more and buy more and be more, but way less. And all of that while moving bravely into that next level where you actualize your impossible into the possible, where you continue to hope and dare to be dauntless, dare to be fearless and brave and courageous and bold, even when you're feeling so tired and sick and tired of being alone and maybe feeling very weary and lost. You do it because you must, because it's moments like this one, especially in times like these, that we all need to remember that we are together. We are all connected, and we are all experiencing so many things in this extraordinary moment in time. And this time when we need to muster all of our strength and corral all of our community and creative teammates and call on our deepest superpowers. This is the time when we all must come together and stand in witness and in action of our desire and commitment to inclusion and belonging, and to growing and reshaping our powerful present, because we're in a time when we not only can make a difference, we must conjure our innate drive that defies logic and calls us to go beyond. We must truly be one for all and all for one. That's part of this credo. And that is what makes this whole life thing worth living. It's to be wholly oneself, or all one within one country, one world, one race, one people. We are all one, even when we are all alone. And we are all connected when we are all our relations. You're a relative to me and me to you and all of us to each other. So when I get down and frustrated and watching Biden's speech today and listening to the news and remembering these things and literally getting petrified by these challenging times, I have to remind myself that we are all a part of each other. And to love myself fully, I need to love all of us. So what would it take for all of us to broaden our field of scope, remove our myopic blinders, and see more of the world through the eyes and stories of others, to see ourselves in others as all one. So we don't have just a single story, a single perception, a single perspective. When I'm afraid and feeling alone, I sing this old spiritual that my grandmother used to sing to me. She would rock me, and she would sing, by and by, when the morning comes, my sweet mama will carry me home. She will tell me the story of how we overcome, and we'll understand it better by and by. And it would soothe me so. And I would remember and feeling there was so much hope and despair. And so when I sing the song, I remember my Shiro, Harriet Tubman, honey, like, what did she have to do for real? What did she have to muster to get through all that she had to go through? Talk about resilience and grit. That's what we're calling within ourselves right now. We have access to that. You know, I went home recently to DC, hometown, and it's this interesting masala of North and South and homegrown and transient, powerful and impoverished, descendants of the indigenous and the slave. And I went to commemorate the opening of the beautiful National Museum of African American History and Culture and be a part of all the festivities with family and friends that had congregated from near and far, and to remember by and by, remember not only my ancestors and what they went through when they were brought chained in boats across the Atlantic and sold like chattel to others who viewed them as animals, as product, as disposable. When the morning comes, or how this country that we call home came to be. She will tell me the story of how we overcome, but to remember how we survived and thrived and continue to live and give and share and care and be parents and grandparents and children of the earth and the salt, the sea, the dusk and dawn will understand it better by and by. And as I stood in front of Harriet Tubman's prayer shawl and wept, I remembered these things, and I remembered her words of courage, her intrepid spirit, the fact that she ran by moonlight through the trees, felt the moss and lichen to determine the right direction, ate plants from the earth to keep her strength. She drank from the rivers and streams, and she made it to freedom. We'll understand it better by and by. I wept because I remember that I am her and she is me. She is all of us. She is our story. She is our now. And so whenever I spiral into sadness, when I watch the news and lament the state of affairs of our country and the world and Kazakhstan and the women and the children and the people of color and immigrants and the poor, and how sexism and racism and homophobia and all the ists and isms are still alive and well, and how we face it daily, despite how it wears us out, our struggle for equality, and the constant need for discussion and correction, along with the age-old ever quote of, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I remember her. I remember my grandmother's song, and I remember my ancestors had to face this every day, but they stood strong and powerful and carried on, and I'm their legacy. You are the legacy of your ancestors, their hard work, their knowledge, their survival spirit. So you not only owe it to yourself to live a long and powerful life and to share your powerful life and vision and message with others, you owe it to them as well. And so it's going to feel challenging, but that's not going to stop us from evolving. So the question is, how will these problems that still face our country and our world get fixed? We want the solution, the mystery solved now, and everything to go back to normal. But we need to remember that this is the new normal, and it can be good. And although growth happens slowly, it happens. Change happens gradually, especially internally, but it happens. It's happening right now. And we have to remember that. We have to think about the fact that up until recently, women didn't have the right to vote. And now we do. And that took hard work and diligence and steadfastness and faith that change should and would come. Our culture, our society, our world, me and you, this country are at a tipping point right now. There is a fear paradigm that's been created around someone losing if equity wins. And we've got to step in and right the wrong to bring inclusion and belonging back to the table. But this is what the deep level of work that has to be done. This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. It's time to unpack our awareness that's limited and reveal our single story and perception, unravel it and address our unconscious bias and privilege so that we can prevent further churning out of systemic inequities. Our transformational change work to bring about inclusion and fairness and freedom for all. That's our credo. It's expansive, it's comprehensive, it's ever-changing, and we're starting at this micro-granular level to look at what needs to be done to forgive ourselves, forgive this land that we're on, and shift the infrastructure of our minds, our culture, our world to create a community of belonging. Just imagine if we could all learn to embrace that which can undo us or confuse us and cause dissonance within us and get to a place through pure resolve and determination to choose forgiveness and understanding and compassion. We can not only shift our brain and all of the things that we have in patterns in ourselves, but heal our communities and our world. And I say this as someone who survived a near fatal hate crime where I was purposefully run over by 5 white men in a truck and spent over a year immobilized in a burn unit. And that accident, born out of hatred and racism and homophobia, not only made me a survivor, but a thriver as well, honey. And we thrive because we carry on. We build the path to freedom, one brick, one step, one soul at a time. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We make it work. We have to make it work. And now is our time. And I have so many stories and I could go on, but I will close with this statement by Baba Bishop Desmond Tutu, who gave the commencement speech for my graduating college class. He said, "Your ordinary acts of love and hope point to the extraordinary promise that every human life is of inestimable value. For without forgiveness, there is no future." And my favorite part, this was, "I wish I could shut up, but I can't and I won't." So please remember, our voice is our primal power. And when we find our authentic voice and speak our truth into power, we will make a rousing, loud, and lasting difference for ourselves, our communities, our country, and our world. Thank you.
You're muted.
Thank you, Amikaeyla. You speak right to my heart and you blow it open, because your integrity is so deep and so profound, and your experience and your commitment to forgiveness. You carry such a power with your commitment to forgiveness. And I celebrate you for that dedication that you have. And I want to bring on Scott Catamas, because Scott is also fallen in love with you, and he's having you on tomorrow. But
Yeah,
Scott,
if people want to hear more Amikaeyla, we're going to be able to go really deep with her tomorrow night on our Awakening World show from 7:30 till 9 o'clock. Amikaeyla is my special guest, along with Louisa Stowe and Michelle Anderson. So we're going to, and wait till you hear Amikaeyla's story. It's an amazing story. So Amikaeyla, thank you so much for being with us tonight and getting us off to such a great start.
and she'll be back some more for some singing too.
That's right. We get to you, and she's got a great voice. So we'll see in a little bit. And Christy, I'm going to go ahead and introduce Gary Malkin. And it's a real pleasure for me to get to introduce Gary. I've known Gary a long time. And I first heard him playing, I think it was in the White House when Lincoln was president. we go back a ways. But he's
For those who
always,
don't deserve the very best.
but he's always been really at the center of heart-centered, conscious media. He's an Emmy Award-winning composer, a brilliant public speaker, and is a music and health innovator. And he champions the power of music to promote health, wellness, and compassion. He's redefining the role of music in life's challenging transitions. If any of you have not heard it yet, he does beautiful work. His Graceful Passages album. I know so many people who have used that album when they're working with beloveds as they're leaving this world and preparing for the next one. He's also the co-creator of the 7 Days of Rest, which many of us have been going to every morning. And after he speaks, I'll bring up the website. We'll take a look at it. It's a beautiful way to be starting our new year. He and Shelley Ostroff have co-created it, and really appreciating you very much. So with no further ado, here is Gary.
Hello, everyone. First of all, just a correction. Shelley Ostroff and Jan Golding are the creators of the 7 Day of Rest. And Teresa Collins and I are hosting an event called Rest in Resonance as one of the many offerings that 7 Days of Rest is offering. If you go to 7 Days of Rest, he'll have hundreds of resting modalities for the rest of the year that you just have to press play on. So I just want us to dive into the sacred time for a minute, for a few minutes, actually. Just want to empower ourselves with taking a breath here. The American experiment I was Googling things, and these phrases, home of the brave, freedom calling, the land that I love. And I was thinking that we have to be brave now. Because it's the land we love, it's the planet we love. Are we going to be brave enough to remember that the earth is one country and mankind are its citizens? The bravery of recognizing that our humanity brings us all together, and this iteration of justice for all. We sing in the name of the one, eternal, infinite being, that the best response to this incoherence is to be capable of cultivating heart, soul, body, mind, coherence in the one being, the one heart, the one field we are all co-creators of. I sing in the name of the one, eternal, infinite being. You can join me if you can, but don't unmute. I sing in the name of the one, eternal, infinite being, who has many names yet is beyond all names and forms, who has many names yet is beyond all names and forms. We come together for healing, revealing who we are. We come together for healing, revealing who we are. Thank you, Michael Stillwater, for this beautiful prayer. We sing in the name of the one, eternal, infinite being. We sing in the name of the one, eternal, infinite being, who has many names, yet is beyond all names and forms. Who has many names and is beyond all names and forms. We come together for healing, revealing who we are. We come together for healing, revealing who we are. Let's all take a deep breath in your heart right now. And just feel the intention of the American experiment. This phrase, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. May this coherent vision of our oneness, of our inclusiveness, of the greatness of who we are as we remember who we are, portals of light and love capable of unifying in a way that we've only dreamed. But that's it. We can't see it if we can't feel it. We can't see it and be it if we can't come from it. We create at the rate at which we vibrate. So this song I wrote way back in 1983 was for America. Ironically, a beer company paid me to write this for a commercial during July 4th. And they never purchased it, but it got created and I've sung it 1,000 times. But it's a perfect thing to imbue all of our heart's coherence into this love to America, the great American experiment, whose light can hold these truths to be self-evident, that we are one planet, one love, one heart. Oh, I love your ways. Oh, Oh, I want to spend my days in your warm embrace. I feel your grace fill my time. Oh, I've seen you laugh and cry, America. Oh, I want a light. I've seen you light the sky. I've learned to love your gentle ways and know your courage. Sing once with me right to the heart of America, to the richness of the diversity that is America. Oh, I love your ways. Deep breath into our heart. Think about one thing, one person, one place that you love so much that you want to benefit from this field of love that we're spreading out right now. It's a beautiful, beautiful counterbalance to the impulse, to the fear that a year ago represented. Together we're better. Together we're one. Together. And so it is.
Thank you so much, beautiful brother Gary. And I really want to encourage everybody to go to his amazing website. It's wisdomoftheworld.com. And there's so many offerings that Gary provides us. He's worked with almost every one of our favorite luminaries, as you can see here. And definitely make sure you put in your name, your email address, so you know all about what he's up to, what he's doing. Check out his music, his wonderful work in so many areas of life. And yes, as Gary clarified, there are many offerings on the 7 days of rest. I have been going to Gary and Teresa Collins' offering every morning. It's been beautiful. But if you go to 7daysofrest.org, 7daysofrest.org, and there are so many options, but
There are some hyphens in that email, in that URL, by the way. So check it out on Google.
yeah, I put it into the chat box so everybody can see it that way. And so
And
you
Scott,
just
I just want to thank you for the generous giving of your time and convening, and you're such a mentor for all of us who want to bring the world together in the way that you have been doing for 2 years and more. So just thank you for all the beautiful, beautiful work you're doing. I'm so, so grateful for you and the world.
Thank you, Gary. Love you too. And speaking of people who do a lot, let's turn it back over to wonderful Christy, who pulled all of this together.
Boy, I don't know about you all, but my heart is broken open and I am just crying tears of joy for the blessings of having these wonderful human beings working together to create such peace and harmony on this planet. Gary, I love you so much. I am so grateful to you for stepping up at the last minute. As Santon had this fabulous vision, and I went, oh my God, we got to do it. And I told Gary, and he goes, oh my God, we got to do it. And I told Scott, and he goes, oh my God, we got to do it. And Amikaeyla and everybody just it sparked something in us.
Especially if we could consecrate it in the amazing offer of Shelley and Jan's 7 Days of Rest, because it's the perfect counterbalance rather than that yang fighting energy. Just let's embrace the sacred renewal that this day represents as an opportunity. So when I heard Santon's idea, and Christy, of course, who you are, just immediately, let's do this, let's create a show. So thank you for your beautiful pluckiness and courage, my dear.
Yeah,
the light warrior you are.
Yeah, thank you for being willing to join me. And by the way, I just have to say, Gary, I've been going every morning at 10 a.m. to the Rest and Rejuvenation.
Rest in Resonance. Yeah.
Rest in Resonance, I'm sorry. Well, it's rejuvenating me. I feel so full. Oh my God, my whole being is being healed in such a profound way. And they're on recording, so you can go back and get the recordings. Tomorrow is another day. They're doing that's day
The
7.
last day, our last day tomorrow.
Please, everybody, go join it. It's fantastic and it's free. So just go and join it. It's phenomenal if you can do it at 10 in the morning
It's at
tomorrow.
the Global Coherence Pulse site. It's on Facebook, and it's also available on the 7 Days of Rest site.
Yeah,
And
and
thank
it's
you
all
for talking about it, because it has been a revelation, and
oh, it is.
it's been so fun.
It's just a phenomenal thing. We all need this quality of nourishment. Well, I am well nourished. I am full, full, full.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you, dear. Blessings. So now I get to have the great pleasure of introducing another beautiful, bright being in my life, Ari Moshe Wolf. Ari, my dear, I love you so much. And of course, I can say this to Ari because he is the father of my grandbaby, as well as being an astrologer and a musician. Ari does such phenomenal work with his heart-centered trainings that he offers to people. So we will put his link in the website as well. But Ari, I am so grateful to you, and I want to take this opportunity in front of the whole world to tell you what a gift you have been to our family. The love that you bring, the music that you bring, the alignment of a sacred masculine who's trying to live from his heart and doing the very best that he can. And I'm very grateful to you. So Ari wrote a song called Freedom is My Holy Name. And this song is what it means to be lifted up above the level of the mind constructs of right and wrong, good and bad, and all that kind of stuff, but getting into the place where true freedom resides, which is actually the heart of freedom. So Ari, please take it away. Thank you.
Thank you, Christy. And one correction, this actually was given to me in a dream. All of it, the melody and the words. So I invite everyone muted to sing along. Really let out your harmonies, let out your devotion. Join me. Freedom is my holy name. Freedom is my holy name. Freedom is my holy name. My holy name. My holy name. Freedom is my holy name. Freedom is my holy name. Freedom is my holy name. My holy name. My holy name. Oh, 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 oh. And freedom is my holy name. Said freedom is my holy name. Freedom is my holy name. My holy name. my holy name. Said freedom is my holy name. Freedom is my holy name. Freedom is my holy name. My holy name. My holy name. Yo 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 ho. Ay ya da da ya da da da. Oh 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 oh. Freedom is my holy name. Freedom is my holy name. Freedom is my holy name. My holy name. My holy name. Freedom is my holy name. Sing it with me. Freedom is my holy name. Freedom is my holy name. My holy name. Eternal game. Yo. Hey yo. Hey yo. Hey yo. Hey yo. Freedom is my holy name. Freedom is my holy name. Freedom is my holy name. My holy name. My holy name. So it is.
I'm imagining that all 100 of us, all night long, are going to have that refrain running through our mind. And what a perfect refrain to be running through our minds on this particular day. That's absolutely perfect, Ari. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And people, you can all learn more about Ari by going, it's his name, arimoshe.com, ARIMOSHE.com. The miracle of Zoom technology that allows us to do that.
Thanks so
Ari.
much.
Yes.
Ari, that was so beautiful, man. Beautiful. Your being is gorgeous. What a beautiful delivery system you are.
Yes, thank you. And he's singing at my house with my daughter and the grandbabies all the time. So I am the beneficiary of this man's sacred heart. And thank you for your deep devotional commitment, along with my daughter, Michelle. Thank you.
Beautiful.
You, Christy.
I get to introduce another longtime friend. I think he was there at the White House with Gary and I back in Lincoln's Day also. This is Will Chang. Hey, Will, it's so good to see you again.
So good to see
And what do you have for us tonight?
I have a big aloha.
Yeah.
And aloha in the original Hawaiian means alo in the presence, and ha is divine breath. So when someone says aloha, they're essentially saying namaste. I see the divine breath. We share the divine breath together. So spirit is breath. And so that is the true meaning of aloha, that we share this divine breath. But furthermore, in 1970, at the Governor's Conference on Hawaii's Future 2000, at the end of the conference, a little old lady walks up to the stage, and it turns out to be Auntie Piliha Pake, who is a beloved Hawaiian poet, philosopher, author, teacher, spiritual guide. And she'd offered this to the conferees and said, one day the world will be in turmoil, and aloha will help to save the world. And so she further went to explain her teaching. And aloha, the spirit of aloha, has these 5 values. A is for akahai, which means kindness. So it begins with kindness. L is for lokahi. Lokahi is unity, that we're all together in this. And O is for olu olu, which is pleasantness, a joy. H is for ha'a'a, which is humility, emptiness, modesty. And the final A is for ahonui, which is perseverance and patience. So that all of this teaching of the spirit of aloha had been codified into the law in Hawaii in 1986. So when we want to practice aloha, let us remember that there are these values that underwrite the entire belief and how they practice aloha in our relationships with one and all. So that is the teaching of the spirit of aloha. I would like to add a little bonus because we're talking about the breath. In these days of crises, chaos, conflict, and confusion, the greatest gift is silent stillness. To receive this gift, just be here now. Let your body be still. Let your mind be silent. Let your heart be open. Let your breath be free. In this moment is all there is. With every inhalation, receive love. With every exhalation, release fear. In the still point between, I am peace. Is this not all there is? Love is all is one, peace is now. Thank you.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much, Will. That was really lovely. Let's take a breath together. We're just at about halfway through this beautiful program, and how blessed we are to come together in community, and how blessed we are to know that love is the answer. We are very, very, very blessed. I want to take a minute to remind everybody about kind of where the Global Peace Tribe is going. And all of us are part of this beautiful Global Peace Tribe. We've all heard it before, but I'm going to say it again. I love the analogy of how the butterfly forms. You know, as the caterpillars eat too much, caterpillars are not sustainable. They eat too much and then they die. And as the caterpillar dies, it becomes this kind of like soup. And the butterfly cells, the imaginal cells, find each other in the soup, come together to create the butterfly. And truly that is what we're experiencing now. I think we all can see that the old paradigm is dying. The old unsustainable ways of humanity are ending, as they must end. And so we, the butterfly cells that believe in the new paradigm, that want to usher in this new world, are finding each other. And there are millions and millions of us all around the world. And it's so exciting as we meet each other. Isn't it wonderful? And maybe you're meeting some of the people for the first time tonight. And maybe you're meeting some people that you've known for a long time. I'm having that experience. I've known Will and Gary and Christy for a very long time, but I just met Sharika for the first time tonight. And so that's what's happening. We're all coming together, meeting each other, and it's very exciting. As most of you know, I'm sure most of you have experienced Saturday Night Alive for the Global Peace Tribe. And that began when the pandemic first began back in March of 2020. And Deborah Giusti, my longtime friend, was going to do a fundraising event for our buddy Fantuzzi at her house. And the pandemic happened, and she said, "Oh my God, Scott, I can't do it live. Can we do it online?" And I had a lot of experience doing online fundraising and online programs, so I said, "Sure." We thought it was going to be one night. So we pulled together some of our friends and some musicians, and we raised some money. And people said, "Oh my God, that was so cool. Can you guys keep doing it during this pandemic?" We thought the pandemic was going to be like a month or two, right? So we said, "Sure." And it grew. It started as a San Francisco Bay Area group of friends. Then we started inviting people like Deepak Chopra and Marianne Williamson, and they said yes. And it became national. And then Unify said, "Hey, can we start carrying this?" And it became international. And we did 90 shows without missing a single Saturday night. We did 90 shows. And our last show, thank you, I'm appreciating the appreciations coming in. Our last show, the 90th one, was on Christmas Day, which happened to be my birthday, just a couple weeks ago. Deborah feels called to take a break. So if you haven't heard, she's on a hiatus. And she requested, "Scott, when I go on hiatus, I also would like for Saturday Night Alive to go on hiatus with me." And I said, "That's fine." And I tuned in, and I really got that I wanted to continue doing these programs. And most of you know that in addition to Saturday Night Live, I'd also been hosting every Friday night a show called Straight Talk, and every Sunday morning my Sacred Sunday show. And so I decided to bundle them all together, same times, under the banner of the awakening world. Because that's what's happening. Our world is waking up. But you know, awakening isn't all fun and games. Awakening can be difficult. When we wake up and we become aware of, wow, look at some of the choices I've made that have been hurtful to myself or to my relationships. Or we as humanity, look at some of the choices that we have made that have been hurtful to our environment, or to other cultures, or to other races of people. So in the awakening world, we do keep our eyes on the prize that we are entering a new paradigm, that we're in a birth canal, that we are imaginal cells finding each other. And we also have empathy for the very real discomfort, the very real pain that takes place. Birth is messy. It's not always comfortable. And so in the awakening world, we're going to find that balance of providing really important information about what we need to do to become more sustainable in all of our relationships, our relationship to each other, our relationships to the planet. We're going to certainly inform and inspire. Every Friday night, still going to meet at 7:30, but now the 7:30 p.m. Pacific time Friday night show is a Zoom meeting. That means it's just like this, where people can, well, this is a Zoom webinar, but it's a Zoom meeting where people can see each other. All of you, as you come in, if you want to, you can turn your camera on and participate, and it's going to be much more interactive. And if you just want to watch, that's okay too. You can watch live on Facebook or come to the Zoom room and just keep your camera off. Saturday night is going to be very similar to Saturday Night Alive for the Global Peace Tribe. Same time, 6 o'clock is when we go live on Facebook. But for those of you who register and come into our Zoom room, we still have our early Zoom room show at 5:30 every morning, at 5:30 every evening. And we have an after show. Every other week, right now it's scheduled to be Jay Mayer and Light Touch and all the wonderful musical offerings that he brings and the Light Touch prayer practice. And then on the other evenings, we're going to do unique after shows. And then on Sunday mornings, the Sacred Sunday show is where we kind of wrap up whatever we've been exploring during the weekend with one or two very powerful guests going into practical solutions. And every weekend we will pick a topic. This weekend, as you can see, our topic is how the weevolution is a catalyst for the awakening world. Next weekend, of course, we'll be honoring Martin Luther King weekend. The weekend after that, we've got the twin Ray, Shakina, and Sananda, and it's going to be all about awakening from kind of their perspective, and so on and so forth. So please do join us. I know many of you have already registered. If you haven't registered yet, please go to globalpeacetribe.com and register and join us. And again, Friday nights and Sunday mornings are now Zoom meetings where you can interact with us. And Saturday night is still a powerful, fun, alive webinar. So thank you, everybody, for being a precious part of the Global Peace Tribe and playing your role, whatever that role might be. The last thing I want to say is that all of us now are being called upon. This is the time we've all been preparing for. We're the ones we've been waiting for. But some of us right now feel called, like I do, to do these shows, or like Gary feels called to do, all the wonderful work he's doing in the world. But I also want to acknowledge any of you that feel called right now to slow down, maybe to leave the job you had, or even a relationship you were in, to rekindle yourself, to reacquaint yourself with what your true divine mission might be. And that's okay too. Just as long as all of us are slowing down and following what we feel called to do. And then we take hands together and we support each other, because everybody is an equally important part of the Global Peace Tribe, just as every cell in my body is equally important. So thank you all so much for being this beautiful community that we all get to be a part of. And speaking of this beautiful community, I get to put the attention now on the wonderful Amikaeyla, who will be one of my guests tomorrow night on The Awakening World. And Amikaeyla is going to bless us with some amazing, what do you hear this woman sing? She's amazing. Take it away, Amikaeyla.
Thank you, Scott. Family. It's so good to be here with you all. And it's so good to remember that we are on this journey together. And the way through, always, in addition to love and kindness and light, is music. God bless America. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. And this world that we love, we cannot rest until it comes. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless this whole wide world, a home, sweet home, with her beautiful and spacious skies and amber waves of grain, with her purple mountains majesties above the feet that plain of America, beautiful America. Oh, please God, shower grace on all of we, and let us all do good and find true sister and brotherhood. From sea to shining sea, we who believe in freedom cannot rest. No. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes.
Wow. Oh, hey everybody, you can become friends with Amikaeyla by going to her Facebook page. That's the best way to reach her right now. And it's her name, Amikaeyla, spelled Amikaeyla, Amikaeyla Gaston. And Amikaeyla, thank you so much, and I'm really looking forward to really going deep with you tomorrow night.
Thank you, my love.
And here's Christy.
And Scott, if you could bring Gary and Amikaeyla up on the screen together, sharing, because these two are making a contribution across the land that is so phenomenal, with the idea that music can heal. And I just wanted to take this, because we have a few extra minutes, and Gary and Amikaeyla, to have the organic conversation between the two of you about what it means to use music to lift the spirits, to elevate people above the judgmental level that's below the line, and bring people into a higher consciousness, a unified state of being, and how music helps heal that and helps bring us home. And I just, before you can talk for a few minutes about your thoughts or your wisdom jewels on this, I remember Eve Ensler was talking about the protesters in the Amazon, the indigenous people who protested, and they went in to their capital. I think it was in Peru, if I'm not mistaken. They went and marched, but they, of course, were barricaded. And then they began to sing. And their song unified them in such a powerful way that they pushed through. The song carried them into the Capitol and allowed them to go into the Capitol through the song, And it's a powerful modality. So please take a moment to share, because you guys are doing the work on a global level, and I wanted to have you speak on it.
Go ahead, Baba Gary.
Well, I'll say this because we just were shown, not told, by the beautiful gift of Amikaeyla. So that's just, we got the transmission, right? But what I will say is this: as vibrational beings, as people who are been birthed by the common denominator we all share is vibration. And I think that now the times have been devised to be so distracted, so chaotic, that the only way that we can actually scale out of the confusion and the chaos and the incoherence is by learning how to resonate on a vibrational level, the power of love, the power of coherence. And when music, ironically, when we listen with that kind of attention and love, and especially stuff that's generative of life, we cultivate our capacity to sense on a resonance level, and we don't have to decide with our mind what we have to sort through, because we vibrate with the truth of who we are, the truth of our truth, beauty, and goodness, the truth of the reason we are here at one with all life. So music is and has a destiny to fulfill that is the emulsifying and connecting tool that brings everybody together as vibrational, intelligent beings. And that's what I'll say for now.
Absolutely. And I work a lot with Christy said, jeopardized populations that are frozen in PTSD and in fear. And the way that you can crack that shell of just full despair is through music. And so I created this Music as Medicine program. And one of the things that we did was work with primarily Iraqi refugees in Lebanon, Jordan, and Syria. And we would sing songs to their heart that weren't even in a language they understood. So I would say, Ishe Olua, and she would start crying. And before she was frozen, and it was a language she didn't even know. And she knew that I was singing to her heart. So music and the vibration and the things that you bring, just like Baba Gary said, it has nothing to do with the words that are coming out of your mouth. It has to deal with intention and things that tap into your lizard id brain that allows you to be in alignment with things that are deeper, spiritual, things unseen. And it allows that connectivity, that fascia that ties us all together, to the mycelial network, to the manatees that are starving, to the people that are in Kazakhstan that are hungry and frightened. It's the music that's going to bring us all together. So it's more than words and policies and all those things. We sing to the music that touches the heart, that allows people to realize that they need to make policies that allow folk to be living a life that's strong and powerful, irrespective of where they're from in the world, that allows us to remember that the manatees have the same right we have as, exactly, Baba Gary, do it. Do it, break it down, Baba! Bring the music to it, because
it saved a wretch, a soul like me.
Yeah.
we're talking about getting the spirit. Yes. Come on, bring that. My family's from Alabama, honey. When
We lost you. There we go. So, okay. This is one of those spontaneous moments. Music solves it all, right?
Auntie, right? Seriously.
Thank you, Ami. I really love who you are and love what you bring. And thank you, Christy, for asking. I think I'm going to segue, but to that next thing, right, Chris?
Yes, before Amikaeyla goes off, I just want we want to make Gary has done this amazing tribute, a montage that a tribute to. We're going to hear Desmond Tutu's voice.
Well, and I love what you said, Amikaeyla, because that actually came up this morning in Rest and Resonance, or actually came up with Sarah McCrum today. The words are vibrational bubbles that carry our loving intention. And that's why, when somebody talks a language, you don't even know what they're saying. When they're infusing their words with a loving intention, those energy bubbles bless us. And we don't even have to know what the words are, because they're carriers of loving intention, of vibrational frequency of love.
That's just like gravity. You can't see it, but you know it's there.
And it's like what we were saying this morning is that Rest and Resonance is a molecular reconnaissance program. One molecule at a time.
One molecule at a time.
So in the spirit of that, do you want to say goodbye to Ami at the moment?
Yes.
My family, I love you. Thank you so much for allowing me to be in this space with you.
Oh my God, it was such a blessing. Your medicine is fabulous.
Beautiful.
Everybody needs a RX prescription for you, dear.
Indeed. So I'm so glad that you, Christy, asked me to play this recording. I want to give credit where credit is due before I play it. This was inspired by the genre, what I call alchemical wisdom, that came out of the inspiration of Michael and Doris Stillwater, who invited me to do something for the end of life. And that became something that has touched over 1 million people around the world in helping to recontextualize this sense of continuity of spirit, that we might die in our bodies, but we will always be here. So in the spirit of that genre, of setting wisdom to music, we then embarked on a program to help healthcare providers. But here's the revelation. If you're on this call, or you're listening or looking at this recording, you are, by its very nature, an eco-caregiver. You are recognizing that you are here to embody your purpose, your authenticity, and your empathy and your compassion, to be a force of coherence in the world. That is the only sensible response to January 6th a year ago. And so in the spirit of that, this track was created for healthcare providers. You are bona fide, officially, an eco-caregiver of the planetary stewardship of life. And as you listen to this, I want you to put your right hand on your left shoulder, and your right hand on your left shoulder, if you would. And when you close your eyes, I want you to imagine that everyone that you've ever loved and helped is lending their hands to your hands. And I want you to hear this as it's divinely addressed to just you. Okay, here it is. Oops, hold on. Almost. Here we go.
You are precious with a preciousness that cannot be computed. Nothing, absolutely nothing, can separate you from the source of all life. Nothing, not disease, not suffering, not even death.
Remember what brought you here in the first place. You were born to uplift and help others in their time of need. What you do and think and feel matters more than you'll ever know.
Have mercy. Please be kind to yourself. We are, after all, just human. That's good enough.
What's needed is your presence, your love, your caring, all these things that you might think are not enough are exactly what is needed.
Do all the good that you can, in all the ways that you can, to all the people that you can, for as long as ever you can.
My wish for you is that you'll take the time to get in touch with and to remember your own good heart.
Go forth, sustained by the knowledge that you are precious, you are embraced, able to go forth with a courage that is not your own, because its source is the source of all that is beautiful, that is good, that is true.
Whoops. That was, in fact, Archbishop Desmond Tutu at the beginning and end of that experience, and just a deep homage and acknowledgement of that center of the moral universe that he represented for all of us on this planet. And just so you know, that's also Christian Northrup and Joan Borisenko and Ira Byock and Rachel Naomi Remen and all these beautiful souls. And it's on the resource called Care for the Journey. I'll put it in the chat so you know how to get it. But bottom line is, thank you for giving yourself the nourishment of appreciation and acknowledgement that we all need in order to do the work that is asked of us today at this time. Thank you for inviting me to play that and share that, and I love you and I'm with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Gary. And for all of you who have gathered to join for the healing of America. And we lift our hearts up in prayer and song. And we stand together knowing the truth that we are the love that we want to see in this country. We don't want separation. We want unification. We want love for everyone, respect, honoring, equality. So we're going to come to a close now, and I'm going to say a closing blessing. So just take this into your heart, and then my dear friend Momo Cortez will close us out with the St. Francis of Assisi's prayer, that when there is hate, let me bring love. Before, when I heard that sentence in that prayer, I said, where there is hate, let me get the hell out of there. But no, we can do this. We can be a force for love, because love actually is our protection. It is how we are safe. We are safe in that love. And then when we join together and lift up our hearts and our spirits, then we become as one force of love. There is no harm that can come of anyone. Blessed be. So take this moment and we activate the wisdom of the heart, the Aloha spirit, that our breath and our heart's wisdom may carry us forward as we walk forth this day, knowing that all separation vanishes when we share that which is authentically who we are. We are this love. Blessed be. Thank you.
Is Momo going to introduce?
No, we're just going right into the song.
Okay.
Yeah. Unless you would like to. I mean, it's fine.
Hold on then. I just had to stop Gary's sound. There we go.
Make me a channel of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon, Lord. And where there's doubt, true faith in you. Master, grant that I may never seek so much to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love with all my soul. Make me a channel of your peace. Where there's despair in life, let me bring hope. Where there is darkness, only light. And where the sadness, only joy. to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love with all my soul. Make me a channel of your peace. It's in pardoning that we are pardoned. It's in giving of ourselves that we receive, and in dying that we are born to eternal life.
Thank you so much, Momo. And that was Denise Rielas on piano. Thank you, Momo. You want to say anything, you can unmute yourself. You've been such a dedicated musician with Denise as well. They're prayer chaplains at Unity in Marin. And if you could put us back on the spotlight, Scott,
Okay, look.
with them. So
I wasn't sure if Momo wanted to say anything.
yeah, right. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I just want to say thank you for, I'm feeling so, my heart feels so open right now. In the process of this service tonight, it's just cracked open. And I just want to thank everyone for the work that they're doing. And thank you for inviting me and Denise to share with you this evening. And I hope that I can make this world a better place by following the words, the lyrics of that song.
Thank you.
Simple, but not necessarily easy. Thank you.
Thank you. Blessed be. So Scott, my dear beloved friend, thank you so much for gracing us with your maximum grace that you bring to all things.
Thank you.
And if you could bring on Gary and Amikaeyla, and then we'll open to gallery view, because Gary, thank you for so much for this beautiful experience that you led us through. And Amikaeyla, and your wisdom and your medicine. This is the medicine that we all need to be taking.
So true. Better than penicillin, honey.
Yeah. I don't know, but my heart is healed, and I am stronger and more fortified in that love to stand up and be the demonstration of that. So
yes.
And we want to thank everyone. We got Sharika, and your son was incredible, and Ari Moshe, my beloved father of my grandbaby, adorable grandbaby.
And Christy, I have this one quote I want to share.
Yes, please.
From Condoleezza Rice. It says, "The essence of America, that which really unites us," which I'd say, I believe it's planetary now and vibration, but is not ethnicity or nationality or religion. It is an idea. And what an idea it is, that you can come from humble circumstances and do great things. So
Truly.
happy January 6th. I never thought oxymoronically we would ever say happy January 6th before.
No.
But we will now, thank God.
Yeah.
We did good tonight, folks.
And Will, thank you so much, Will. That was the best wisdom jewel on Aloha Spirit, which is a spirit that needs to pervade. I have my Hawaiian family is on this call, so they are loving it, I'm sure, hearing this. And I appreciated, because I was born and raised in Hawaii, and so I touched my heart
Punahou girl goes to Goddard.
Yeah, the most wonderful way of explaining what aloha is. Can you say that one more time? The A, the L-O-H-A.
Akahai for kindness. Lokahi for unity. Olu olu for pleasantness. Ha'a for humility. And ahanui for patience or perseverance.
Really. So if that isn't our guiding light message of tonight, I don't know what is. So may you carry forth your spirit on the aloha spirit.
Totally.
And send it all out. And I mean, I think we're at the end, but if you want to open it up, Gary, I don't know how anyone else want to share any thoughts or feelings that came up for you.
Well, I'd like to just acknowledge
please.
all the people watching, because
Yes,
they've
please.
gotten a lot of us. But I really want to appreciate the 90 people that came into the Zoom room and all of your comments, wonderful comments from Connie Baxter and so many of our friends. So, thank you to those of you in the Zoom room, the ones that are more quiet than the rest of us that are up here on the panel. All of your comments, all of your thoughts are really valuable. So thank you. And we are going to, I'll make a YouTube link out of tonight's show, and I'll put it up on my page. I'll give it to Christy and Gary, and we'll also put it up on the Global Peace Tribe YouTube channel. So thank you, everybody, for being in our Zoom room and being part of the show tonight.
And, if I could go ahead, I would like to say one more thing, and that is we need to hold the vision. The people perish who have no vision, right? So we need, can you put me on, Scott?
You're on Spotlight, Christy.
Oh, I am. Okay, I don't see it on mine. Sorry.
Yeah.
So we need to hold the vision of America healed, living in love, and carry that forth. I remember when Marianne Williamson came out with her book, The Politics of Love. When she came out with that book, they were interviewing her on one of the radio stations, and the guy who was interviewing said, well, politics of love, what's love got to do with this? I mean, he just and then he realized what he said. Well, I mean, love is great. He had to backpedal. Love is great. Yeah, because love is the answer. It's like we all have to learn how to love. We have to learn how to get along. And we have to learn how to live in peace in our own hearts. So thank you all for coming and joining us. We are so grateful and devoted. And if you want to find out more about what I'm doing, you can go to my gospelofmarymagdalene.info website, and you'll see webinars and events posted that we do all the time there. So thank you so much. Blessed be everyone.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you all. Thank you one and all. I love you.
See you this weekend, everybody. And tomorrow morning for the last day of rest and resonance with Gary Malkin.
Yeah, 10 a.m. California time. Yeah.
Right. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you. Blessings.